These days, when you hear the name Toei Animation, the first thing that comes to your mind is terrible pacing, garbage animation, and never-ending filler. It's actually pretty sad how badly modern Toei Animation has fallen, as for many people, including myself, this studio has made many of our favorite anime of all time. Just at the top of my head, I can think of One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, Fist of the North Star, Saint Seiya, Sailor Moon, Tiger Mask, Digimon, Slam fucking Dunk. And talking about Slam Dunks, man, that lineup is honestly as impressive as the 1992 Olympics USA basketball team. And the funny part is that I could easily keep on going. Toei Animation is probably the reason why you, yes you watching this video right now, became a filthy weeb.
Hit or miss? I guess I never miss.
Oh, you got a boyfriend. I bet he doesn't kiss ya.
I mean, think about it. How many of us became anime fans because one day we just randomly came across an episode of Dragon Ball, One Piece, or Sailor Moon on the TV? Well, not me. Look, I'm sure the series played a very big part in making me an anime fan, but I'm gonna argue that coming across an episode of Ranma School Rumble definitely played a bigger part. Back in the day, whenever you saw the Toei Animation logo on your TV, you knew that was a symbol of quality. You knew that shit was gonna be good. But nowadays, whenever I see that Puss in the Boots from Shrek looking motherfucker on my screen, I can't help but wanna blast it with a freaking Kamehameha.
Fuck this goddamn company! I want that motherfucker to burn!
And there's honestly plenty of reasons why that is the case. Starting with probably the most infamous one, the never-ending amount of filler. No joke, the amount of filler anime from this godforsaken studio be having, they probably make your average girl in Miami feel like a proud freaking mother. Look, I'ma try not to be too harsh, because compared to anime studios like Studio Pierrot that made series like Bleach and Naruto, Toei Animation shows have barely any filler in comparison. I don't think y'all understand the pain, pun very much intended, and suffering that was watching Naruto back when it was airing weekly. Bro, that experience definitely gave me chronic PTSD. Holy shit, 76 episodes of straight filler for a fucking year and a half? 76? Man, I probably had more fun playing Fallout 76 than having to sit through all that garbage. And mind you, we're talking about a game that looks like this. And boy, do not even get me started on Bleach. This show has so much freaking filler that I'm convinced that the title of the series is a metaphor on how watching this anime makes you wanna drink bleach. Also, unlike most Studio Pierrot filler that is as fun to watch as watching freaking paint dry, a lot of the filler in Toei Animation shows are actually pretty entertaining. The Afterlife Tournament in Dragon Ball Z, the G8 arc in One Piece, and especially the Asgard arc in Saint Seiya are all absolute freaking bangers. And trust me,
I know bangers.
But even then, as great as those filler episodes might be, it's still a bummer when you're watching one of the best arcs in an anime, you're super invested into the show, you cannot wait to see the next episode just for boom, here's a bunch of random freaking filler. Like bro, what the fuck am I even watching here? I still remember watching the Annie's Lobby arc in One Piece when I was a kid. Chopper just turned into a big boy monster and shit was about to go down. But instead of the next episodes being Chopper clapping submarine cheeks, we instead got a bunch of dumbass comedy filler of the Straw Hats in feudal Japan.
You got me fucked up.
And once again, while those filler episodes were actually very entertaining, I couldn't help but think, get the fuck out of here. I want to see the talking reindeer cause some absolute chaos, okay? And also, while here, Toei Animation shows technically have less filler than Studio Pierrot, that number is pretty deceiving, as the pacing in those so-called canon episodes can only be described as an absolute fucking disgrace. Watching an episode of a Toei Animation anime can only be described as blue balls in anime form. The story progression in your average episode is comparable to the sex life of your average League of Legends player. Virtually non-existent. But why is that? See, there's many factors that affect how many chapters of the manga an anime is gonna adapt for an episode. The amount of dialogue in a chapter, if it's a weekly or monthly manga, meaning there's gonna be more or less content to adapt. But in general, for most anime, you probably wanna adapt anywhere around 3 to 4 episodes for the best results. Sounds like Toei Animation heard that and said, well, how about 0.5?
You know what, my nigga? Let me go ahead and take a drink of fucking water before I have a motherfucking heart attack on fucking camera, okay?
Hey, I know they be saying size don't matter, but god damn! 0.5? The way the studio squeezes every chapter from a manga to its very last drop, it's almost as shameless as me adding water to soap bottles to make them last longer. Look, I can appreciate Toei Animation trying their best to minimize the amount of filler in their shows, but man, is it a slog to watch through them. And one of the biggest culprits of this is the GOAT, One Piece. For the first 400 to 500 episodes of the show, One Piece actually had great pacing, but right after the time skip, the pace of the show went from Usain Bolt to EDP 445. Arcs in a modern One Piece anime just take way too long to finish. Every single episode gets stretched all the way out, just like the girlfriend of the guy that swears that his girl would never cheat on him and just went on a girl's only holiday to Miami. Prayers up to you, my boy, but I'ma be honest. What's going on over there is what you can see in this picture right here. Like, someone explain me how they managed to stretch a fight that only lasts a couple of panels in the manga into an entire freaking episode. Boy, I never forgive Toei for making me watch Luffy and this fat bastard with pink hair push each other for what felt like over an eternity. Like, where is it gonna end? And for me, the very worst offender in One Piece is the Dressrosa arc. One of the better arcs in the manga, but a goddamn nightmare in the anime. In this arc, one of the major characters is a girl called Rebecca. And as typical as like 99% of characters in One Piece, she has a super tragic backstory. Her mother got killed, her dad got put into prison. Wait, okay, we get it. Let me just cut to the chase. To give the episodes of this arc some padding, like the Brava girl in her first week of university, the lovely gentleman at Toei decided to show her exact same backstory, and I wish I was kidding, for a grand total of 48 fucking times. And to an extent, I was not complaining. Feel free to put those big ass watermelons on my screen as much as y'all want. I mean, oh my freaking god! What even is there to say? Them jugs are crazy! But on the other hand, I couldn't give a single shit. But just when you think that the pacing can't possibly get any worse, it does. In the finale of the arc, the main villain Doflamingo uses his final attack, Birdcage. Doflamingo forms a razor-sharp birdcage around the island that can pretty much cut through anything and makes it slowly close in so that it will eventually destroy the whole kingdom. Yeah, this is where the anime broke me. I'm not even joking. Every episode from then on consisted of your 2 minutes of the opening, which hey, at least that one slapped hard. Followed by your typical a big ass recap that nobody ever needed, and like 14 minutes of this goddamn birdcage slowly closing in around the island with random civilians that have nothing to do with the plot running for their life. Only after all that, we'd maybe, and I mean just maybe, get a couple of minutes of actual story progression adapted from the manga.
Wow, man. Damn.
Boy, every One Piece fan knows about the dark ages of 2015, man. Week in, week out, you'll be out there on a Sunday morning like a fucking dickhead, patiently waiting for some actual story progression, only to be met with this exact same scene every freaking time.
I'm out of here, man.
And while it was incredibly annoying, it would have been fine if it went on for, I don't know, 10, 15, even 20 episodes. But no. This birdcage debacle lasts for 50 goddamn episodes, aka an entire fucking year of episodes.
Yo, killing me with this.
Bro, Zoro might have gone through a lot of torture in Thriller Bark, but that was nothing compared to what I went through watching this shit. Right now you might be wondering, why don't they just stop the weekly release of episodes and just turn the shows into seasonal anime? That would help it avoid catching up to the manga and have significantly better pacing. See, that would make sense. But it's Toei we're talking about. And more than just that, the real answer is just having a weekly anime episode means more money from TV advertisements and more episodes to put on DVD and then sell. And not only do they be milking every chapter of the mangas, their milking of series as a whole is probably even worse. You all know the story how Toei couldn't accept losing their golden goose after the Dragon Ball Z anime ended in 1996. So they created the anime original series Dragon Ball GT for a chance to make more merchandise, more toys, more money. But I guess the GT part of Dragon Ball GT must stand for Great Turd, cause the show flopped hard as hell. But looks like in the following 20 years, Toei really took the words of Nikkei 30 to heart and said,
Never back down, never what? Never give up!
cause in 2015, they decided to run it back one more time and made another new Dragon Ball Z anime in Dragon Ball Super. Just as an excuse to, once again, make more merchandise, more toys, more money. Man, why do y'all think that these days we be getting a new Super Saiyan form what feels like pretty much every other day? Well, it's cause every time those higher-ups of Toei release a new form like Super Saiyan God and fucking N-word Frieza, they see the number in their bank account go up and their third leg also goes Super Saiyan. And I mean, can you really blame them? While a lot of people in the Dragon Ball community hate Dragon Ball Super for its subpar story and animation, people at Toei know there's plenty of idiots like me who just like watching meaty men with rainbow hair pitting the shit out of each other and will open their wallet regardless of how mediocre the actual show is. And they're right. Like bro, I've definitely spent over 100 pounds across all new Dragon Ball Z video games only so that I could play with the new Dragon Ball Super transformations. But moving on, how about we talk about some actual animation? Out of all the biggest Japanese studios, Toei is probably the least known for its animation quality these days. But back in the day, this was not the case. Their anime had very respectable to even straight up amazing quality. To this very day, the fights between Kenshiro and Rao in the 80s Fist of the North Star anime are some of the greatest shit I've ever seen. We also know how amazing fights in OG Dragon Ball were. Even sports anime like Slam Dunk has some great animation going for themselves. But for God knows what reason, the moment anime went from being completely hand-drawn to mostly being digitally made, the animation of Toei anime just straight up implode.
God damn.
Oh my god, my eyes are bleeding just looking at that shit. Get that shit off of my screen. So much better. I still remember watching One Piece as a kid and suddenly noticing the overall quality drastically going down. Characters and backgrounds started to look off, animation started to look sloppy. I don't know, shit just started to look cheap. And don't even get me started on the infamous episode 5 of Dragon Ball Super. Like, where did we go wrong as a society to deserve this? Like, surely this is not what we waited 19 fucking years for, right? But the 2010s were a rough time to be a Toei Animation show fan. Most of their anime looked like your average city in the UK. Fucking shit. One Piece look like shit. Dragon Ball Super look like shit. Sailor Moon Crystal look like shit. World Trigger look like shit. Toriko was the biggest pile of shit. Like, you know shit was bad when from 2006 all the way to 2019, the only Toei anime that looked consistently good was fucking Pretty Cure. Like, all due respect to Pretty Cure. After all, I love it myself. But come on, man. How are we gonna give a super tiny budget to the two literal most popular series of all time and then invest the GDP of the United States into freaking Pretty Cure? And these people are not only cheap when it comes to animation quality, they be skimping out on everything. Like, do we want to talk about how they constantly reuse the same animations? Surely I'm not the only one who noticed. The way the studio constantly reuses the same animations, it will put a smile on the creators of Power Rangers. Well, that's until you check who makes Power Rangers, aka Super Sentai, and well, didn't see that one coming. And while I know that all we did until now was just list the many reasons why Toei Animation sucks, we actually have a good ending for once. I guess after years of negative feedback and unhappy fans, Toei Animation decided to raise their sleeves, get into the kitchen, and start cooking. One Piece since the start of the Wano arc completely overhauled their animation, which not only significantly improved it, but many times even made it straight up beautiful. Same thing with the newest Dragon Ball Z movies. They look great. Bro, I cannot believe it. One of my videos actually finished it without a tragic end? Looks like we finally got the good ending in the visual novel. I guess this is the perfect time to go back to the One Piece anime and catch up with everything that's been happening. I'm sure they also improved the pacing.